one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, approval amendment of meeting agenda item. I move that we approve the agenda for midnight 2016 as presented. All those in favor? Aye. Approval of minutes. I move that we approve the minutes for April 11th, 2018, and April 20th, 2016 as presented.
I guess I'll say.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Correspondence? Public comment? Okay. Reports.
I will introduce Mrs. Warner for 8.1, who will introduce her kids. Mrs. Warner, go for it.
I have 3 of our science fair winners here tonight, and so you can come on up, guys, just come up and start yourself. And they're going to come up and talk to you guys a little bit about their projects. But there were 6 of you, is that right, that were finalists? And the other 3 aren't here tonight, but we wanted to bring this little taste of what the science fair had to offer. And the kids' project just, I know it doesn't seem possible, but they seem to get better and better. This year's kids, the comments from parents and other people that had gone to the science fair multiple times were that the kids this year could answer questions about their projects in an amazing amount of depth, and they really had a good grasp of their projects and the scientific concepts that they were presenting. So we're really proud of them, and congratulations to them. Sadie, do you want to start them off and talk about your project?
Okay, my science fair project was on peeling hard-boiled fresh chicken eggs. Some of you might know that fresh chicken eggs, when you hard-boil them, are harder to peel than store-bought eggs. And my question was, how long does it take for fresh eggs to peel easier? From 1, 5 days, 1, 5, 7, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, or 60 days. And so on day 1, I put them in a big pot and I boiled them. I did have 2 measurements, and I did average time, so time, and the ease of peeling eggs, the eggshells. My hypothesis was 25 days, but it was actually 10, because 10 days it starts this is the time, and then this is the ease of peeling, and it seems about the same. So you should probably wait about 10 days if you want good hard-boiled, to peel easier eggs. And some fun facts that you should know are that if you buy eggs at the store, they're usually 3 months old already.
Really cool.
Make them last up to 6 months or something. And how you can tell that is if you put a mason jar or something, or just a bowl, you fill it up, and you put the egg in. If it sinks, it's considered a good egg, you should eat it. And if it floats, it's not a good egg, it's bad. So,
A bowl of water.
yeah. Any questions?
So after the chicken lays the egg, wait 25 days, then,
10.
oh wait, 10.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
And then they're gonna peel the easiest?
Yeah.
And
10 it doesn't matter. After 10 days, it's,
Oh, then it's all the same.
yeah, it's pretty much, it's
You
average.
boiled them all at the same time. You
You would wait 10 days for your fresh egg and then boil it?
Yeah, you wait 10 days for the egg and
And then boil it?
yeah.
So you didn't boil them all at the same time and peel them?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
So you marked them on the day they were laid,
Yeah,
and then after, so what was the oldest one that you?
60 days.
So you worked almost a long time. That's a long time to save eggs. Then boil them. Did you do them?
Did we?
60 days? No. I would be curious if the 60-day eggs taste the same as the 10.
Next year's science fair.
Why do you think 10 days is easier to do?
Well, 10 days, it starts to get easier. It's a good time for you to do it.
But do you know what causes it to get easier? Why would it be
The,
easier in 10
like,
days?
the inside, I think. There's like an air gap before the actual egg, the inside of it. And so the more air's in there, the easier like to peel it off.
So you need more air after 10 days for it to separate.
Yeah.
What?
Any egg peeling tips that you picked up on? I peeled a few.
No.
Very much.
Maya?
I think so.
Who are you? I'm Colin Marcus. So I did mine on bird migration. And my question was, do breeding and wintering grounds of the Swainson's hawk have similar temperature ranges? And if so, does temperature affect their migratory behavior? So I picked 10 birds like across the United States, and I got their average minimum and maximum temperatures for their breeding, wintering, and year-round locations. And since all of these are so similar, they're year-round, I can infer that temperature affects when they move to migrate. Yeah.
Temperature. So what's the bottom?
This,
Yes.
that's their year-round, that's like their migrating path. They go from like the United States down to Argentina.
Okay, so one color is down.
One color is each bird, each bird.
Each bird.
Yeah.
So my hypothesis is that the average temperature.
Swainson's hawk breeding, wintering, and migratory habitat is similar, and therefore temperature affects their migratory behavior.
How does it affect them?
Like when the warmer it gets, like the earlier each year is when they do come back.
So what's your conclusion? Temperature effects.
I can infer that temperature affects Swainson's hawk migratory behavior because the average temperature of their breeding, wintering, and migratory habitat is so similar. I have lost this was correct.
So 60 days, my goodness.
Yes, 60 days.
Are there places where they stop on a regular basis? Or is it
No.
just kind of everywhere?
Yeah. Any questions? Maybe I have an just right. Yeah, that's it.
How did you come up with this?
I got the idea online.
Yeah. Nicely done. There's a lot of information in that.
Yeah.
And how long did you work on it?
Maybe
Peeled
2
eggs
weeks.
for 60 days. How long did you chart stuff?
Oh, like,
Did you take
yeah,
like
like
a
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
60 days from go north down to Argentina, how long does it take them to get back?
I don't know that one.
Yeah,
Probably
you can
better.
study that next year.
Yeah.
Very good, thanks.
Very good. Interesting.
You're next, Trevor.
Joe calls.
So,
Who are you?
Trevor Schultz.
What have you got?
So what my project was on is guns and how the grain of blood affects the accuracy of the rifle. My question was, does the grain of blood used affect the accuracy of the rifle? So I used 40, 50, and 55 grain bullets, and I shot them all at 50 yards. And my hypothesis is that the 55 grain would be more accurate, and that the 40 grain would be less accurate, the least accurate. And my hypothesis was wrong, and 55 grain is actually the most accurate.
The 40 grain was the most accurate.
Or the 40 grain is the most accurate, yeah.
You used 22,250, is that what?
2250, yeah. The reason why I did this project is just to see, like, if I was shooting a pad or something, which grain would be the most accurate, which would have the cleanest shot, the cleanest kill. When I was measuring with from how far the outside corners of the bullets were, so like how far the distance was in between.
Now, is it 50 yards?
50 yards.
Good shot, good. Regardless of the grain.
I was using a stand so that it would stay in one spot.
Some people use stands. What did you, how did you control for weather? Did you do it all?
I did it all in 2 days. Yeah.
So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
This, my research, so in my research I learned that the 40 grain was made more accurate because it was less weight and it was spinning, the rifling of the barrel, it made it spin the right amount so that it was more accurate. And that the 2250 can travel, I don't think that was on here, that it can, the 2250 is accurate to about 300 yards, and then it just starts dropping off and going down closer to the ground, so that it's not as accurate.
So that's saying that the heavier the bullet, the less accurate it is because it's got to work harder.
Yeah.
Did you notice any difference in the three when you were shooting them? 22,250.
Not a whole lot. I can tell the difference between the 40 and the 55. There's so much of a big jump.
Yeah. Do you prefer any of the three in particular?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Well, if you were shooting like a deer, you would want to use the 55 grain because it has more power. And it has more power. And the 40 grain has less power. So it wouldn't be a very good clean shot.
What did you use to shoot your deer last year?
2250.
I happened to see that on grandmother's table. I love a small town, huh? Very good. That's a great.
Any other questions for these guys?
Thank you so
Feel
much.
free to hold them up just so the audience can look at it for a second. Look really kind of high, so.
It's kind of hard to do. And can you find a spot where just these three in the district office for members? So if you guys want to leave them with me, I'll take us to the district office for you, and then if they want to look at them again, and other people want to look at them. Is that okay?
Yep.
Well done.
Yeah. Nice job, kids.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, there was, there was only. How you guys are entertaining.
Not real likely.
Do we have a ASB report?
You did.
My name is Jillian Cornwell. I'm a sophomore at LHS. So we had conferences in April where everybody got to talk to their parents and students with the teachers and about their progress in every single class. State testing just started this week for math, and the sophomore science testing is starting, I want to say, in a couple weeks. On April 21st, the 10th and 11th graders attended the career fair in Klamath Falls. They were able to talk with a variety of employers about different careers that are available to them. On April 22nd, the math students got to go to OIT, where 2 students placed, Jamie Fryermuth and Dave Lee in geometry and algebra 2. On April 24th to the 27th, the field biology class got to go to the coast, and that was really educational for them. On the 26th, the 11th, 12th graders and about like 8 or 9, 10th graders got to go to the Shakespeare Festival in Ashland. The students watched Hollywood version of the 12th Night, and it was really entertaining. We had a pep assembly last Friday featuring sports, and we had a Hungry Hippos live in person. It was quite fun. Carly Larson and Logan Cockrell won the karaoke for the seniors. The seniors started their activity these last couple weeks with the senior mother luncheon last Wednesday and the AAUW brunch today. And they're going to finish up with their Seroptimus Rotary luncheon next week. The 7th graders competed in their soil water speeches and last Thursday, and the winners were Kaylee, Denham, and Zachary. Brandy Nider took a group of 8 DMS students for a leadership conference in Portland. It was a really long way for them to go, but they had a really, really good time, I heard. And the SWAT classes participated in an anti-bully day last Friday, and it was really, really successful. There was good feedback from K through 6, everyone, and the 9th through 12th graders turned out to have a really good time that day. And that's all we've done these last couple months.
Thank you.
Garden program.
Awesome. All right. I know you are anticipating this, you've been waiting for a little bit more of an update. So I have Savannah Soul here, she's our head teacher out of the Union, and Amanda O'Brien, who has been kind of the lead in this project as our parent representative, and has been really, both of these ladies have been very invested in this project. So they're going to give you a little bit of an update as to what's going on at Union, and then I can fill in some questions if we have some about what's happening at Fremont Hay with their piece of the garden grant. Great. Thank you, ladies.
We had put together, Amanda has put together a little map, an outline of what we're expecting in our garden. We've made it here for you guys so you can actually see. This is what's going to be going in next year. Last year I put in a pumpkin patch from a compost pile that I had at my house. And that area is going to be this year's school garden. So I have a plan for that too. And we currently have just a variety of different things growing in all of the classrooms. I think last time you guys were out at Union, we just had admirers and now they've expanded. So they're all through the school on windowsills. The kids have been dying to pull weeds. So it's kind of exciting. It's really good, productive recesses we've been having. But we're just really excited for the opportunity to have this food and enjoy experience.
A little eyes on
Oh, yeah.
it. Your daughter, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no nepotism there. And I think to add to the weed pulling, they almost view it as a reward, don't they?
They do enjoy it.
Yeah.
Weed pulling?
Yes. I know, we need to send them to my house. greenhouse.
No.
Lots of them. But we applied and were awarded the grant through the Department of Education and Department of Agriculture. We initially applied for just under 100,000, I think it was about 94,000. However, the state only allocated $900,000 for grants, and they awarded 56 schools for that 900,000. So everybody's budgets got cut, and we had just under $40,000 for it. So we had to restructure everything, and you'll see the budget, the restructured budget in there. The one thing they are not going to cover is fencing, because they consider that a permanent structure. But the greenhouse they consider temporary. So they'll cover our greenhouse, but not the fencing.
I had a thought about that. The Fish and Wildlife will do fencing for commercial greenhouses. And I don't see why this isn't commercial on public property.
I don't know if they consider it or not. I can ask them.
I'll ask if they provide 8-foot high and 3 feet away.
I went.
Craig Foster.
There you go.
Yeah, because I went to the.
I bet you don't.
I went and talked to Marty Hamilton at FSA to see if we could qualify for the, high tunnel, grant where they help pay the cost share grant. And they said no, because it's on school grounds, so they won't consider it a commercial.
I mentioned this fellow here, you mentioned who my parents work with.
We have to go to the office to talk to Craig. He's
Yeah, we also applied for a grant through the Sorockiness Club, and we're hoping to hear back this week on that too, for the fencing.
So what you see in the ag there is, Amanda had contacted someone and he came out, well, he didn't come out, actually, we provided the pictures. So the pictures that you see are the day that we planted the butterfly habitat, which we have out in front of our schools. That's something that we worked with the local Fish and Wildlife Services to get all planted that Susan had started last year. So we've got that up and running, and we're working on cleaning it up from the spring, and we're digging some dirt out. One of the buildings is leaking, so we got it all nice and neat. We're just working on the weeds and moving dirt now, and we're going to do a rock path bridge in the middle of that as well. It's okay. Very attractive, I think, there once it's cleaned up.
And for right now, we're gonna start where the pumpkin patch was last year. And then after July 1st, when the funds start coming in, then we'll start moving stuff over to the new permanent location for the garden. So as you can see, it's a little bigger than.
Yeah, I'm trying
patch.
to, and that was over by the teachers, right?
Yeah, the pumpkin patches, yes.
In front of there. So then where's the rest of the garden?
So that's going to end up being behind it, over by where the baseball backboard is.
In the gym. The
Okay, okay.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's weird. Get lots of sunlight there. It's probably the least used part of the field.
Right, and there's water access there also.
The greenhouse right now will provide year-round as far as cold weather crops such as lettuce, potato, and everything. But eventually we'd like to look at solar power possibly to make it so it can be truly year-round gardening to provide for the cold.
I know Jen, our cook out there, is very excited.
Oh, yeah.
We're hoping that eventually we can get it to be where we can have our own salad bar. So we're growing lettuce in the classroom right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see if we can have a little bit of salad by the end of the year.
And they're doing lots of projects. They've been starting lots of seeds. On Earth Day, they all made their own little trees. They look like that. So we got rootstock at wholesale prices, and I went to a sign-on exchange and got a whole bag full of different tops, and we taped them all up, and they took their own trees home. So the kids were very excited about that too. And the kindergarten kids especially were. I like this kind of tree. We have this. In fact, you'll see in there, I have a list of plant suggestions from the students. We asked every class, what do you want to see in your garden? And that is a list that was compiled from all 3 of the classes. And some of them are, very basic. We want lettuce, we want this. Kindergarten classes, they were great. They wanted purple pumpkins. But No strawberries? Yeah, I thought strawberries was on there. Did I miss that?
No.
Oh, yeah, it's on there. Yellow strawberries.
Oh,
Not red, yellows.
Okay.
And, yeah, they're gonna have to settle for blue pumpkins, because I do have those.
They
So
want a
most of the
cauliflower?
seeds that we started at this point have all been donated to, so we haven't had a lot of cost, or really any cost, put into there because we've had so much support. So I think in there is a list of donors that have contributed to us so far. So we've had a lot of support from both local and out.
Were you able to find out anything more about the training in June?
At this point, we can't secure funding for it. So maybe in the future, that's something that we can do, but we've been really cautious about both planting and as far as allocating our resources, trying to be as thrifty as we could. With the heating, we thought of some ideas, just using water as passive heat for things like that. So there's some alternative options that we're looking into to save some money and just doing a lot of research on our own. But so far, no real training yet.
Plus, with this being the first year, when we're trying to get everything up and running, we just decided it's probably better to put it off a year.
There are a lot of great resources online and through OSU Extension Office. They have links to different websites, so a lot of internet research. And then just like Amanda's expertise with planting, what's going to work well together and be more friendly to pests. One thing about the grant is that it all has to be organic, correct?
No, in order to be used in the school kitchens, it has to be organic. So they don't require that it's certified organic. They actually have removed all regulations and restrictions to encourage the use of school gardens and kitchens. But they ask that you try and keep it organic.
Which impacts our building materials as well, because we can't use pressure treated for the raised beds, so we can't use juniper, which has a similar lifespan.
Did they give any reasons for that? Just
Specific
trying to
chemical
control,
leaching.
because we certainly don't serve organic food.
I think it's more, if they don't serve it in the cafeteria, but I think it's just, maybe to make sure there's no pesticides, nothing right on the food if it's not washed as well.
They do have stricter rules about, even the farmer's market about food, because it's coming straight from your hands.
Right.
For some reason, they have stricter rules.
Yeah, and some ones make sense, some of them don't. They do require that you have a food safety plan on file there at the premises, but it's very basic. You don't go out there if you're sick, you wash your hands, you wash the produce, and
We do have a sink to put in the greenhouse itself, so we can encourage the kids to be a little bit healthier about their involvement in the garden.
And then, another project we're going to be doing next week is everybody will be, at both schools, they'll be planting potato towers. We had potatoes donated, one of which is an almost extinct variety. And they'll be planting potato towers at both schools, and they'll be able to.
In town too?
In town too, yeah. Deb Watts' class is going to be practicing on Thursday.
So these administrative costs are built into the grant?
You can, 10% of the total cost of the grant could be used for administrative, and 10% could be used for labor and development.
And so do we have a project director, or are you guys just using that amongst?
Sam Through is put on the grant as a project director.
Okay. Are you making the board boxes?
I have that.
And every kid does.
I have that in there too.
I think what we're looking at right now is kind of breaking into phases with this. This first year, we have a limited amount of time before we can spend the funds, but for this year, I'm going to try new vertical pumpkin patches so that we can utilize our space in that small garden. Just kind of explore, how we need things to be. But this year, we'll definitely get the, we're going to have an orchard, because there's not a lot of shade out there in the yard, so we'll have an orchard around the outside garden or outside classroom and some teaching boards. So that's kind of our big priority, is getting an outdoor learning environment, I guess, for the kids.
The other thing that we wanted to talk about was potential fundraising open house in the fall. We'd like to do a farm to table dinner. We think there's some potential for that. The reason we want to really ask you about it in advance is if we do it out at the school so that, people can come and see, there is more income to be made if we are allowed to sell beer and wine at it, but I don't know, there's no kids there, so I don't know if that is something that is allowed or not. I looked up the law, and there's no state, county, or local ordinance, and everywhere I was, it seems to be up to school.
I say we would need to contact our attorney on that one.
Yeah.
The insurance company.
Yeah.
I think it's the insurance.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's why I wanted to check on that. Because it would be a difference of about $600 on profit.
Yeah.
So,
People like to drink.
So then the maintenance of the grant, that's almost the same. What is that for?
so the maintenance would be, that's the administrative cost that's done by Janet and, people in her office to just help maintain that everything's being spent correctly, submitted to the state.
Any questions?
No, just a huge,
Yeah, we did.
thank you to you guys. This is a lot of extra work. It's very
Good
exciting.
job with it.
Very appreciative of Amanda and Savannah and the great work they've done on this. Thank you so much for that.
You get
It's definitely a
So you're not all like about
All of this?
Oh, this is not. We're going to take it, we'll take some time.
Yeah.
Are you
personally getting the structure of the different times put together and
Oh, yeah, you're busy here.
I'm thinking I missed this week. I lost a week.
So just for your, so any of the big purchase items, make a bunch of phone calls about that.
Yeah.
Okay, I will do that, thank you.
Because of the size. I can't speak for
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah, we're gonna put the key plants too up against this wall, it's white.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll light back and add extra units.
They're gonna get excited about this.
Well, that's one of the reasons.
Well, then, and you stimulate them to eat their vegetables because
Right.
they
Well, and especially growing different foods, like, they're asking for yellow strawberries,
Purple cauliflower.
Purple
Yellow cauliflower.
Yeah, they really learn, they try new skills, and they actually carry that through their whole life. So,
It's very, thank you. Building principal reports.
Mr. Brock, Ms. Warner, who wants to go first this time?
I think Mr. Brokus.
Okay, Mr. Brock.
Okay, our daily membership has just been so steady this year. 111 in the middle school with a 92% attendance rate, which is a little low, a little scary. Lakeview High School has 250, so we have 361 kids in 7 through 12, which has been, I think 365 has been the high. And so we have steady attendance this school year. May and June are crazy busy months. Just really want people to check the website, call the school, look at the district calendar. We have lots of events going on, as Jillian spoke at the ASB report. Last week was incredibly busy for our staff and our students. It started with the added site visit on Monday. We had Melissa Cole in the building, and she spent the whole day, the entire day, visiting classrooms and meeting with the site committee during lunch, and then really providing some great feedback to our site team. And she was just really impressed. I think we can can say, she felt that we were ahead of schedule compared to most schools in their second full year of implementation. And jokingly, Noni on our first year and at our training, jokingly, Noni said that her goal was for our school to be a demonstration school within 5 years. And Melissa Cole thinks that she told Noni that she believes that we can be a demonstration school within 5 years. So she was really impressed. It was nice to hear all that hard work that our staff has put in this year. And then Thursday we had Kevin Feldman in the building, and Kevin about 6-7 years ago was part of the literacy project. Kevin was in the district. He was also in Ben Lapine, and he's been working with Harney County, and he does these learning walks. So we had Kevin, folks from Harney County, ESD, and their high school. We had our ESD folks and our teachers went through learning walks. We visited 14 different classrooms, 20-minute blocks, and then Kevin provided a little feedback to the teachers, and he wrote me a very nice email at the end of the day saying how impressed he was with the culture of our school, especially our staff, and just the way they collaborate and they coach each other, and that he doesn't see that in a lot of the buildings he goes, and how they're open and want to get better. And he really focuses on student engagement, question and answering techniques, a lot of what we do with the Avid. And he really, once again, he noticed our teachers using those strategies. So he was very impressed and got a lot of positive comments from the folks that were from out of the district as well. And we had a successful prom Saturday. It was well attended, and the kids were phenomenal. Thank the chaperones for that, and Lisa and Ruth Ann for all their hard work in preparing. Currently we have ASB and class officer elections going on at the high school, and a lot of credit needs to go to Ruth Ann. She has totally revamped our constitution, and we have an interview process, an application, and speeches as part of the election. And I could say today we had 3 speeches, and by far the best 3 speeches that I've heard since I've been here, as far as the seriousness, and there were some criteria, and it was I thought the kids did really well, and we had elections, and they voted, and we'll announce those tomorrow morning. And then we'll do the same thing with the class officers on the 17th. So we're gearing up for next year. I can just can't stress enough, again, just so many things going on with the senior events and the concerts and the FFA. Just for folks to check the website, continually check the website. And then we got a lot going on with athletics, and I'm going to let Jesse talk about that.
Okay, for as far as athletics go, track districts are this Saturday over at St. Mary's in Medford. So, and then after that, those that qualify will go to the state meet the 19th and 20th, following Thursday and Friday.
Does St. Mary's have a track there? We're not at the
No, it's at their place. Yeah. Boys baseball currently holds on to the 2nd spot in our league. So right now the boys make the playoffs. So we won't know the outcome of that for sure until after Saturday's games. We finish league. Our baseball and softball finish league tomorrow, but there's some league games afterwards. So we'll know Saturday if the boys end up holding on and staying in second and getting that playoff game. Should they get that playoff game, the first round will be May 25th. Wednesday, May 25th will be their first game. Softball, we will be tomorrow, will be the last league game for softball, and wrap up the softball season, getting up 3rd in the league. one spot out of the playoffs. Golfers just went to districts beginning of the week, or excuse me, last week, Saturday. Our team finished 15 strokes out of making a state championship berth, which when you know 5 guys on a team, 15 strokes is pretty minimal. We did qualify Tate Lytle, ended up tied for 5th. Ended up winning 5th on the second playoff hole, so Tate will go to state up in Cresswell, Emerald Valley. I believe it's the 16th and 17th. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on with athletics, and look to send some kids to state track for the spring season.
Busy.
Good.
Enrollment at the elementary schools is real steady. We've lost a few or gained a few, but we're still right at 344 for ADK and Fremont. And Union is still steady at 45. We're bouncing back and forth between 92 and 94% attendance rates. Our attendance rates could be a little bit better, and we work on that on a monthly basis, sometimes weekly basis. The ADK playground, Sam and crew have the basketball hoop fell pulled out of the ADK playground in anticipation for Rick to bring his crew in, and I'm still waiting to hear exactly what date. We were kind of shooting for mid-May for them to start ripping up asphalt for the first phase of the playground project where the soccer field will go in. Melissa Maxwell and I finalized our Ford Family Grant application, and that went in, and they have a pretty short turnaround time, so we should hear from them within the next week or two. And so that's about what's going on with the ADU playground. One of the things that we did get to in our Ford Grant update is the Fremont folks are getting together, and they're working with Jay and Fred, and they're designing a reading garden for the Fremont playground. We're going to hold off on ADKs until we get a little further on this playground project, so we kind of know where we think we know where we want to put it, but we really want to wait until we have some of that asphalting done. So, Smarter Balance and Oaks testing is about 2/3 of the way through. Some of our little guys take a long time to get through, and so it takes us a while. 6th grade has priority this week to finish up Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And actually, Mr. Hamilton and Mr. Brock have been very gracious, and our 6th graders have been coming up to LHS and using one of their labs so that they could continue moving forward on their testing and get them done well before they leave for their field trip next week. Upcoming dates, I did not put all the field trip dates on there because they're going on about 2 or 3 a week with the little guys here and there. A kindergarten roundup is this Wednesday, so we'll have better projections. Our kindergarten roundup numbers look high, a little bit 5 or 6 kids higher than the normal, and we'll see what comes out of it. And then our 6th grade field trip leaves on the 16th of May for 4 days. And we're just moving right through this with field trips and events and awards.
Are those your notes, or did you give us a copy?
I did not give you a copy of notes, they're just my chicken scratch. I really wanted to recognize the high school staff and administration. When we went up last Friday for the Bullying Awareness Day, anytime you do an all-district event like this, there's going to be glitches, and there just is going to be hiccups. And it went really smoothly. Our teachers were really pleased with the experience for their kids. The interaction between the young kids and the big kids was really great. The older kids did a really nice job herding, explaining what things meant, and doing all kinds of different demonstrations of what bullying might look like and how to solve problems, and helping the kids problem solve. And the day was really worthwhile. We had the little guys up here from about 8:30 to 11, and then they ate lunch in the gym. And then the 4th through 6th graders came up for the rest of the day. It was just the right amount of time to have them split half and half. But the high school kids hung tough doing the same presentations all day long to all those kids. And we served 700 and something lunches, or however, we have 750 district-wide. And we all ate lunch in high school. So it was just fun, and they did a really nice job planning that and presenting it for us. Teacher Appreciation Week was May 2nd to the 6th, and our staff had all kinds of treats and lunches, and they just were really well taken care of and felt very appreciated.
The district office staff brought things down, parents did, classified did, kids. I just got back in April and taking a group of newer teachers to the RTI conference in Eugene. The first day of that was best practices in math for K through 2 teachers. And we split up and went to several different kinds of sessions, but they got to see some pretty dynamic presenters. The following 2 days, we added some upper elementary teachers, and they focused on response to intervention type strategies, and they provided administrative ones for master scheduling, and they got to go see math strategies, how to make your RTI groups more efficient, and it was just a real worthwhile conference, and from the feedback I got from the teachers. The Union School Carnival was on April 23rd. The carnival was really successful. They raised a sizable amount of money, it's around $12,000, but they are still paying bills, so they didn't want to give me a firm commitment for you guys as to how much you're going to donate to the library project yet. But the Union School Library Project will receive a sizable amount of money to get them started on their books and their library project. So,
We were so excited about it. We had some 5th grade boys who were just begging us to read, which is a big win for us.
any questions about what's going on in elementary school? We're helping our along as well.
You guys have end of the year concerts or just Christmas?
Miss Harris is rolling it around. She hasn't decided for sure yet. She's thinking about doing one with the 6th graders. We don't normally do a music program at the end of the year, but she has talked about maybe either including her 6th graders up here or just doing a small one. She hasn't decided yet.
When's your PBI assembly? The little kids?
The very last one is like May 26th, I think. At 8:10.
At 8:10. It's going for 100.
Pretty cool.
Okay. Thank you. OSBA Promise Grant.
Yes, update on that. It is in your packet, the application of intent that I submitted with Mrs. Fergus here. We identified the project as board superintendent team works together. We've done quite a bit of that for sure. I see it as a fine thing to build on and continue. I filled out the narrative here. Superintendent and board recognize ongoing improvements need to be made in areas of board operations and ethical standards. Our desired outcomes are professional development for the board and superintendent, efficiently evaluating their performance and fulfilling the board's duties, responsibilities, and the board building work as a team. A guidance plan on determining progress and revision of action plans, strategic improvement to accomplish the district's vision, philosophy, and goals. And then the last bullet, improving and enhancing leadership and educational philosophy and performance that will lead to superior student outcomes. The philosophy is well defined and related to academic achievement, teacher empowerment, and positive school climate are most important. So, like I said, I think we launched a pretty good partnership between the superintendent's office and the board this year. It's something I'm going to continue doing. I thought Mr. Kelly, when he came down to visit us in the fall and did that presentation, I want to see more of that. And I think this really lends itself to that. No, we'll wait and see if we get it.
Okay, Facebook page. So if you guys close that, minimize that, and open up your Chrome, I have a Facebook page open. Please don't actually type anything in there because you're under admin right now. So you can see what I put out there, so we don't want to post anything there. But if you see flow, you can see what it looks like. Like today, we posted the board meeting, what's happening. We covered things like Teacher Appreciation Week, Kindergarten Roundup, the Senior Mother's Lunch, the plant sale, and I have pictures of that. Are you able to get it, Stephanie?
Well,
tell I'm not on Facebook. It's okay. Bully Awareness Day, we had some pictures of that on there. So I'm just trying to each morning post things that are going on around the district. I've asked staff to email me when they have things that want to go on there. And as a rule, we just really want this to be a way for us to better communicate things that are happening in the district. We've already had 50 likes to our page since May 3rd, so happy with that. So if you guys want to invite people, encourage people to like the page and follow it, so we can keep everybody informed. And we're looking for any feedback, so if you guys have recommendations or anything you'd like to see happen on the page, just let us know.
What does that mean?
So when you go to the page, there will be a button in the corner you can like it, and then that allows you to
You don't have to say anything, but you can say,
Oh, that's nice.
was there an opposite button?
A dislike
button?
No.
Oh, so.
So very.
But if you don't like it, you're not following it, so.
Oh, I
you just
like
have
it
to
to
say
say
anything.
Okay.
And we're watching it very closely for any comments. There's rules when you go under the About page. Click there, off to the side there's the page info. And it looks different when other people look at it, but there's a section there with a long description. And under that description, it talks about our expectation about, you know, we want to have good communication, that no one will be allowed to be rude, vulgar, or be little opinions, and it kind of talks about the expectations. So if you click on the About, timeline and then About, and then click on Page Info, there's overview of Page Info, and if you scroll down, there's something that says Long Description.
See more.
And then, yeah, see more. It says the goal of our page is to communicate, keep the community informed, and we ask that you exercise goodwill in your postings. And we set the expectations, so if something never does get posted on there, we'll remove it. It's inappropriate. It does talk about if you have any concerns, that you address those with the person specifically and not here. This is not where we want to air any type of complaints necessarily, but I will take that information and we will pursue it, but it will be removed.
So who's monitoring this? Like 24/7? You. Our cool things. Are
They
all,
come up.
so are all Facebook pages, you can comment on all of them?
We can't
You can't, no.
make it to where they can't comment. We can take every comment off if we want, but we want people to be able to, you know, post
Courtesy
congratulations.
you know that. I don't know
Yeah.
what this is, but.
So is it through your phone then? Yeah, the buttons come on your phone. I can't, I'm not right now, I'm just checking. That might be good. You never know. You would like it when you did it, you can just get what's respected.
I did not check.
I don't want to record sometime I phone it.
But if they're not,
So did teachers give you the photos?
no.
Do you want more photos?
I love anything you guys.
Yeah, that would be something that you guys could.
I just have to be, I just to make sure that we don't have any students that are not allowed to be, for grant and stuff like that. Right now, we're already in the district, but we have to watch for that. Make sure we don't violate anything.
I have a question. Why do we have a website if we have this now? If it's just to get information out there, isn't that what the website is for?
Actually, it's both. Facebook has a pretty broad reach, and we really want to, extend that broad reach, just to get information out about schools. And in addition, if there's something going on where we, in addition to phones and everything else, it's just another venue of keeping in communication with the public.
But isn't that what the website is doing?
Social media helps to redirect traffic back to your website. So there's a large population base within social media where you can introduce base information that you're presenting on your website that entices them to then be redirected to the website for full detail.
But is that on Facebook?
I don't put a ton of details in those posts too. I kind of just put little blurbs and then,
I
more
guess-
details on the or on the website itself.
I guess my thought is it seems like a waste of time. That if the information is already on our website, if we already have a school calendar where all the events are, that this
seems like a waste of time and potential problem. Like we just talked about, who can post, anybody can make a comment, negative or positive, and you have to continually monitor it. That seems like a whole can of worms that we don't need to deal with.
It's very common. Pretty much every school district has one.
But that doesn't mean we need to do it.
Well, we decided that we were gonna try it.
You can also disable the comment.
Yeah, but it's something we've talked about for
Entirely,
quite a
yeah.
while.
They didn't want to entirely disable, so no one could make a comment, because you either shut it off or you haven't. And then we completely eliminate that option for people to communicate. They didn't want to entirely, the decision was to kind of monitor that and see how it goes. So for now, we're gonna
We can
try it
certainly
that way.
post the website link on the Facebook page too. And that can take people right to our website also.
These are great pictures. Okay. So I'll just ask. That's pretty much what we do plan on. So now I click the globe. How do I get back to the, oh, never mind. There we go. Okay, do I have any questions for Rebecca?
I think that it should go through Fresno. That's what I want to call it.
It's such a willing constant.
Yeah. Right now, we haven't actually had anybody comment, but it's.
And I think that's nice. I had something out for us to schedule it there.
Well, this is kind of our first step, was to introduce it to the board. So we built it, and then, that was at the request that we do it. So introduce it to you guys, let you guys see it, and then obviously it'll get out through the media and that kind of stuff. And then we're just kind of word of mouth, letting people know. But and I like the fact that the comments are open. I'm not rejecting that. I just think maybe the 21st I would monitoring might be good just to check it. Goes to your phone. Well, her phone is much easier to use. Are you people the Facebook pop up like parents? Could you do that?
I think you need to get
I am.
Graduation planning.
Mrs. Chavez.
So we need one more item on our program, and that is which school board member is going to hand out diplomas. Have you guys visited about it?
Pretty sure Dustin.
Okay. So is it Dustin?
We have not had that discussion, actually. That would be quite unfair.
You guys are our last item.
Okay, so we just, and I.
So basically, you guys, what was it, earlier in April, you decided that Will's going to open the graduation, and then the other task the school board does is just hand out diplomas with the superintendent. So it's just one member on the stage handing out diplomas, getting their picture taken.
It's the fourth.
I've done it the last 2 years, so I'd like to do it maybe next year, so I would step
You might
back.
have some interest again.
I get to start next year's program. You guys are gonna all want to do it next year.
Let's do it. It's the fourth, right?
4th at 3 o'clock. We ask that you come at 2:30.
I don't think I have anything on my calendar.
So, okay.
Yes, I would
Okay,
like to.
thank
hand
you.
out.
Do you want me to call you that week and just?
Yeah.
I'll put you in my calendar, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, calendar update approval.
We're bringing the calendar back to you to make an amendment to it. This year, the high school took a different route, spring conferences are going instead of 4 through the 8th, or 4 to 8. Maybe I'll let Mr. Prock talk about that. What did it do for attendance? Or?
Well, we felt that 8:30, we didn't get much traffic after about 7:30, so we paid particular attention. We had no folks in after 7:50 on both nights. So our staff, the only drawback is on the Wednesday when we have the early release and the training to follow, it was a little better. We had a little kind of built-in little dinner break, but when we were on a normal schedule, it was a quick turnaround for the teachers to. But I think the trade-off is they're done at 8 o'clock. And so I think after experimenting with both, we choose 4 to 8.
And for all schools, being a principal at both middle school and elementary for a lot of years, I concur with that. Attendance really falls off after 8 o'clock. They tend to be more early birds and get in there early to the conferences. So I think as far as increasing parent attendance, I think I'm not going to sit here and say it's 100% going to help, but I'm going to say it can't hurt. I think it'll probably be a good thing, just based on what I've saw in my years and experiences with conferences. That's it.
So this is changing it for next year.
Yeah.
And then full conference times in November, right?
Yeah.
I move that we approve the updated Lake County School District 7 calendar with the changes in current teacher conference times as presented.
I'll second. Okay, is there any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I did hear a little bit of feedback about conferences being very crowded. Or with DMS now in there and lack of privacy. If that word didn't come to me. So I don't know if maybe exploring a different venue than the cafeteria would be an option. Bonanza, we'd go into the gymnasium. So that might help get people through there a little bit quicker too. That was something that came up. Just as a FYI, since we're talking about comments. Okay, new business, temporary summer maintenance for approval.
You're on.
Mrs. Mills.
So summer's fast approaching us. We'd like to hire 3 summer maintenance kiddos out of schools or community, whichever. We're only requesting 3 this year. Last year we had 5, which is too many of us. So keep track of them. So they're just requesting 3.
Okay.
We do have it in the budget. It was in the budget for 15, 16. We'll roll into 16, 17 with 3 of them also.
I'll move that we approve the temporary summer maintenance crew of up to 3 as presented.
Also.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Board member vacancy appointment discussion.
The resignation of Mr. Anderson, we advertised the position, I think, when did we first put it out? In March, I think. So, we've only attracted one applicant for the vacant board position, Mr. Barry Schumerberger. He's had quite a history of the school district as a volleyball coach and also as a parent, and expressed his interest in that position. So my recommendation is for your thoughts and everything to appoint him this evening.
Barry's work in Canada, he definitely, his history with the district and the community is good. Just fit into his schedule.
He said summer might be.
He was also a member of the budget committee.
He said summer might be.
Well, I'll lose the budget member, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't make it into the budget.
He said summer.
We had an issue.
I said he's very committed to it. So I did talk to him on the phone a time or two, but
Probably have to have a towel fund discussion.
No.
Yes.
No, I'm putting my foot down, no.
That was before your time.
Oh, but I've heard about it. Yeah. Moving on.
Know about it.
It's not on the graph, just let it go.
Paper towel might come back up.
He was pretty convinced that was a really good option.
So we do need a motion to, if you should decide to go ahead and seek a motion to do that.
When will he come in?
When tonight we start.
Call him up.
You're late. June 13th, but you guys could invite him to the next meeting because it's just a work session and no voting or anything will happen at that meeting, so, but he won't become an official member until June 13th when you appoint him.
So we could have a work session, so.
So I would move that we appoint Barry Schruberger as our, what, do I have to mention the number or just vacant board?
I believe he's number 5, but I don't know for a fact, so let's just put him in the vacant
Vacant position, all right.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I guess Mr. Schulenberger. Joinder to trust agreement for members.
Yes, so we received this from Pace, our insurance company. And basically, we don't have a lot of choices if we want to keep Pace as our insurer. Basically, it has a lot to do with the fact that we are self-insured. However, they safeguard it. I did a little reading this afternoon just to make sure they're putting safeguards in place because they do have $32 million to their members for claims, etc. So, and it looks like, somewhere in my travels on this, it had been like since '06 since they had any sort of agreements. It's pretty straightforward.
It is, it's pretty much updated.
Yeah.
It just, I didn't see if there were any big changes.
No, other than,
And if you read the last paragraph,
of the actual,
unfortunately, if your district does not adopt a
Yeah.
letter of trust agreement, your district will no longer be able to participate.
yeah, you're not insured anymore. So,
Yeah. Unfortunately.
yeah.
That's interesting wording. Okay.
I move that we approve the resolution presented.
Nothing like back in the corner.
I'll second. Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Letter of intent from LCR.
Well, I'll jump in. I'm pleased to introduce Christy Toit. She is the director of KCC. Now she's at CRI, and Christy has been a fantastic partner to work with this year as far as KCC and trying to move things forward with the LLC. She brought this proposal to me a while back. We ran it through our lawyers and everything, and I think it's a very good thing to help her generate additional fundraising for that building down there, which Lord knows we really need it. So anyway, so without further ado, I'm pleased to welcome Christy Toit here this evening. So Christy,
Thank you. Have you had a chance to look at the letter? This is just a letter of intent to move forward so that we have a vehicle as LCRI in our organization to do fundraising to finish that top floor. We're going to need another at least $500,000 to do that, and that's just based on guesstimates at this point. It's not actual design plans, which I would be going for grant money to do to actually have architectural plans drawn so that we would have, solid plans and solid numbers. So what this does is allows us to move forward. I'm working with Scott Warner as an attorney. He's the one that drew this up, this letter of intent. And if it is agreeable to the school board, we would move forward with putting a long-term lease together so that we could move forward with the fundraising.
And on our end, we had Jeff look it over, and then also I visited with our PACE insurance, also just on that end of things, and they were fine.
This also allows us to use in-kind contributions from the school district as we go looking for money, because we would just be leasing for $1 per year, but we could put a value on that rental once it is finished, and we could use that as in-kind community support to say that the school district is, yes, it gives us a couple of legs up in some grant writing and funds. So
What would happen if, for some reason, in the next 4 years, we had an influx of students and we had lower?
We had that discussion, the school district does have the first right to use classrooms.
Yeah.
But the top floor would still be leased.
That we could have the first right as a school district too.
yeah, it's in the agreement, Pete, that in the event the school district needs those classrooms because of an influx of
Yeah.
population, that you guys have obviously first right and they would become classrooms again, so.
6.1.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's 6.1.
Mhm.
That was my only question.
Yeah. We had those discussions, and we had to agree to, if something happens, to let us go along with that, should occur, so.
That's great, that gives you a lot more avenues to pursue. Any questions?
I move that we approve the letter of intent with LCRI as presented.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christie.
Yes,
Good
thank you,
job with
guys.
this.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Let us know if there's anything else we can do.
Well, Stephanie, I'll just need your signature. Sign this, then I'll have Arlene sign it and get you guys a signed copy, and then I'll go ahead and move forward with the attorney. Thank you.
Garden grant.
Thanks, Will. Thank
Very
you.
much.
Garden grant approval. Well, as you heard earlier this evening, that we were approved for the garden grant. We need to officially accept that, if we're all agreeable on that. They did mention that they had went for almost 100,000. The award amount, the actual award amount is 39,718. It will be managed through OEE, through our office, and the district office. And that is just your agreement with the state.
I will then approve the government as presented.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you again. It's very exciting. We know it's not 100,000.
We'll make it work.
Starting. You know, we figured you have one chance to ask. So shoot for the moon, ask for everything. But, you know, even 39,000, that comes in 3 gardens and 3 schools, and it's still more than what we needed for, you know, we did that proposal in December, and I think it was $6,000 was the budget, right? Good. Well, thank you again, because we know you guys put a lot of time and effort into it, so. 10.6, extended school year.
Mr. Chavez?
So I'm requesting, we have 5 students this year that qualify for extended school year, and I'm requesting Cindy Quick for this position. It will be for 4 hours a day, 4 days a week, for 6 weeks this summer.
4 or 5?
Well, it's 5 students. So the time, I apologize for my mistake. The first sentence I put 4 and down below it's 5. So it's 3, it's 3 middle school, high school, and 2 elementary students.
Is that what we usually have?
That's about what we usually have. I think last year might have been 4 and then might have been. With my disclosure of honesty there.
I move that we approve the extended school year hire of Samika as presented.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you.
Thank you.
Mutual aid agreement?
Okay, so it's been a few months ago, we've already signed this once this year, reviewed it once this year, and did it last year also, but Lake Health District has branched out into also Lakeview Gardens. So they had to go back and redo all of their agreements, which now this one agreement turns into 2 agreements. So we have an agreement with Lake Health District and Lakeview Gardens. We provide basically mutual aid. They can come here, we would support that. So nothing really changed other than names.
We had to add the gardens.
Yeah.
So this is in the event of a disaster, they
Correct.
can use
Our facilities. So you have 2 separate deals there to approve, but they're both along the same lines. One is for LHD and one is for Lakeview Gardens.
I move that we approve the mutual aid agreement between Lake County School District number 7 and Lake Health District as presented.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye, sorry.
I'll do all 3 tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we had to do like health district again because, why?
Because they separated, I believe that the original one had it, what did they used to go by, Lake Health District and, Lake District Hospital and whatever the. Long-term care. Okay, so now it's a Lake Health District and the Lakeview Gardens.
So mutual aid agreement, Lakeview Gardens. They just need another motion.
So now we need, I move that we approve the mutual aid agreement between Lake County School District 7 and Lakeview Gardens as presented.
All second. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Very good. Okay. Consent agenda.
I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
I was just thinking about what I can't do what, but I remember. I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. I did, yes, I did call you. Yes, you can. There was one item in there I was a little wishy-washy about, but I'm for it. I understand. Announcements.
Yes, the next time we meet is not a regular board meeting, it is a work session at 6 p.m. Here, or where's the location? Any down that.
Somewhere down in Arizona, we did that.
That would be good. Mexican store? Oh, you're gonna be gone? Yes, I want it.
I would say right here.
Here?
Yeah, already got established, so.
Do
That's
we know
first.
what we're talking about yet?
I believe we were going to go back and return to your self-evaluation
Okay.
and refresh my memory.
We're ready now.
Okay.
Listening
Sorry.
session? Right, listening session?
Yeah.
What did you work
refresher on the procedures and stuff for the board, stuff on that. Then we're gonna, we have, some policies that were missed back in 2013 and 2014 that, that have to be gone through, that they sent us, and so we just printed those, Mr. Gable is going to make a recommendation on those. And we'll hopefully we can get through those that night and just go ahead and adopt them on the 13th in the first reading. And that's all I have so far.
So let's add the tuition reimbursement policy to that, because I've had that as,
Okay.
Maybe know that's a negotiated.
well, okay, that's what we talked about, if it was in the,
It's in the collective bargaining agreement.
the policy is.
No, there's no which.
It's just part of the CBA.
So we don't have a policy.
Are we talking about the teachers?
Teacher reimbursement.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's in our CBA.
Yeah.
So that's a negotiated.
Okay. Well, what did we give to ESD then
I gave them a copy of the CBA to look at because they're trying to adopt their own policy,
They're writing a policy.
their own policy or their own CBA is what
Right.
I don't know, Mr. Nash.
So how do we talk about that?
In negotiations or language or something.
Let's see, so listening sessions. That's all I had listed. For next meeting. Do you guys have anything?
I think it is.
For negotiating.
25th, right? Okay.
I'm wondering if there is a possibility of doing like an online training for part of your OSBA stuff for this grant.
Yeah.
Possibility, I don't know.
I talked to Steve
Do
Kelly.
that in the group, but maybe that would be a good thing to do.
Do we not, we don't have it in the budget for the summer one, right? This one is not.
We will get to that.
Into that.
I thought you were talking about that, I missed.
No, I just, maybe like doing an online one as a group, so that you actually.
It's related to the promise that we passed on.
Is there anything you want to talk about on Monday the 23rd, since you're not going to be there?
All the miserable stuff.
Yeah.
I think you guys should go over all the board policies and handbook and everything.
Just do it all.
We have to.
Okay. 12.2.
Remind members of the board and the public that OSC negotiations are on Wednesday, May 25th, 2016, 3 p.m. in the district office. Next, Lakeview High School graduation, Saturday, June 4th at 3 p.m. And then the last thing, getting Danny's question, OSBA Summer Board Conference, July 15th through 17th in Bend, Oregon. I would remind the board that we have significantly cut travel budgets. And what we've built in as far as travel is one board member to the summer conference and one board member to the fall Portland conference. So I will let you decide how you wish to choose out of it, but that's what we allow for our budget this year, so due to the cuts.
We need to register for that.
I wish we, if the board member decides to go, what's kind of our deadline on that as far as notifying?
Well, we've already tentatively booked a room.
We did.
Just to hold one room for that. And I think, what does it say that doesn't on there?
It doesn't, give it that. $50 fee will be charged for cancellation received after July 8th. I don't see an early bird.
So the rates, a lot of times they have one rate if you do it by this date and then one rate after that. It's like not to show
It just says register online, pre-conference, professionals workshop, conferences, $185. Yeah, I see. But we can decide.
If we take some time to ponder, we can probably, have one, have you guys have it figured out by the June meeting, and then we'll be fine.
Are you interested? I've gone before, so if you want to go, I think that'd be great. Barry, if you could go in the winter, that's the two most board members growing. It's useful. So,
I like that.
You and in November.
Or let me one is the summer one.
but he'll be here in June, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Probably easier for Mary for November than it is for summer.
I think so.
Yeah, maybe, unless he's kind of has feeling that too.
Okay, next board meeting agenda items. Kind of already did that this work session.
We did.
Anything for the June 13th regular session that you guys are aware of, when you added?
LHS DMS student handbook approval.
We put the elementary ones on there. And then we'll have a 6th grade field trip report for him too.
Oh, you will after? Oh, just like a report? Oh, basically, okay.
Because yeah, because we don't have one. For them to cover that.
16, 17 coaches.
Okay, so we put the counseling report, do we want that one on?
I do have that.
Yeah, that one, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, build that in there.
What else, what else should we
Are we ready for any hiring recommendations for fall sports? or anything like
16,
that?
17 coaches, yeah, we have in place.
Okay.
And extra duty contract.
How about title line right for any of those year-end reports?
No.
I don't know if
No.
that's for any of those. Budget.
Certified staff resignation.
The board does not approve the certified staff resignation. Just retirement. Retirement.
Okay. Personal finance curriculum grant approval.
It sounds like it's Christmas.
Any other field trip reports?
No, we-
I know Mrs. Mandelberg's class, they usually give a report.
Yeah, but it'll be summertime, Will.
The kids like that.
We do need to do the cabbage related report today.
Okay, capture report.
We want to be field biology was fun. Cafeteria report, probably not be official. And no need to field trip shows there's kids in.
I know, that's a really great
Yeah.
report.
You'll need to adopt the budget.
Oh, people will send them.
Yes.
Are we and Sandy to go too? Or no, that's not.
Okay, I move that we adjourn.
Oh, wait a second. All in favor?
Aye.